All right, one of the big treats of the Combine every year, certainly Gibbe's favorite thing, although he did not come over for the lurk this year. He sent us in his stead, which I'm sure you're disappointed by.
Well, yeah, I mean, didn't come by. Then you chickened out and asked somebody at NBC to come and get me. So, man, we're just getting soft in Cleveland.
Let me tell you something.
What's going on here?
That is a gross misrepresentation of the facts. Bo, our good friend Bo Bishop, great friends with Josh Perry, and that's how it happened.
So that's how you worked it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would never be afraid. We've gone back and forth many times through the Combine.
We have.
All right, let's talk a little bit about quarterbacks, because I think that's kind of the big thing, the domino around the league, always, every single year. This year, not maybe so much in the draft. We know Mendoza's going to go one, but talking about guys like Malik Willis, will Mac Jones be available for the right price?
Right.
Kyler Murray, Tua, some of those guys moving around. When you look at this quarterback, Kirk Cousins, who won his last 4 games last year, what are you seeing from this quarterback landscape, and how do you see maybe this shaking out?
All right, well, I think out of those guys you just talked about there's like 2 guys that really jump out to me that I still think have talent, right? Kyler Murray, one. I still think in the right situation, he could still be a really good NFL quarterback and make plays and lead a team the right way, right? Now, you gotta set some things up for him. You can't expect him to just play in the pocket and play big like that. That's not what he is. So you gotta play a little different. The other guy you mentioned, Malik Willis.
Yep.
And I'm sorry because I have a mint in my mouth, which was stupid of me to put in my mouth right before I interview. But Malik Willis, to me, when I break him down and watch him, and I've seen him in person a little bit, he has superstar talent. Right? And you've seen Jordan Love 2 years in a row rush back from injury because he's like, damn, Malik Willis looks really good. Like, this is supposed to be my team, right? So he's the one. Now, I'm not saying you give him $40 or $50 million a year, but you give him, I could see like a 2-year deal, right? North of $20 million. Let's see what you're at, see if you could prove it to us, and then maybe we get a long-term deal there. But he's the one that really intrigues me. I would not be shocked if a Miami Dolphins team went, you know what? We're paying all this money for Tua. He's on the books. We can get Malik for a good price, and the head coach and the GM are from Green Bay, right? So that seems natural, and I like his game a lot. You talked about Mac Jones. Mac Jones, would the 49ers trade him? Knowing my buddies out there, maybe, but I think it would take a lot. You got to put yourself in the 49ers' shoes. They're going to look at it and go, we're a Super Bowl team. If Brock Purdy gets hurt 5 or 6 weeks like he did last year, and we don't have a guy in there that can come in and hold down the fort, then we're out of the Super Bowl, we're out of the playoffs, and it doesn't matter. So they're not just going to give him away for free or for next to nothing, because it's an insurance policy.
Yeah, I would think it's got to be a first or a second round pick, because they think we're going to get a comp for him next year.
Right. I don't think they can get a first round, but a second round, something like that. Yeah, because they got to feel that they have somebody comfortable with as a backup, because you don't want to risk losing your whole football team like we just talked about with Green Bay, having Malik Willis holding down the fort, or Mac Jones with the 49ers or whatever else. So, yeah, those are the ones that are very intriguing to me. And then, Kirk Cousins too. Kirk Cousins can still play ball. Is he a superstar anymore? No, right? What is he going to be viewed as? I think he's going to be brought somewhere to be like a bridge quarterback,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
Let's bring him in. We got him. We might draft somebody. He'll have to deal with that. But he's also the perfect guy to tutor your young quarterback too.
And like you said, your friends out there, obviously, big friends with Kyle as well.
Sean Shanahan, and I played with John Lynch in Tampa Bay, and he's a good friend as well. So yeah, that's who I was referring to.
Is there something to Sam Darnold is with Kyle before he goes to Minnesota? Mac Jones plays his best football with Kyle. And it's not just them. Kevin O'Connell, Daniel Jones was there, said he learned so much there. Baker was with Sean McVay before things took off. Is there something about maybe these guys, and Malik Willis with Matt LaFleur, that there are these little pockets now maybe where you have quarterback finishing school? So it's a copycat league. Everybody's going to want to find that next reclamation project, but that might be a good place to start. Those seem to be pretty good incubators.
Definitely. Finishing school is a good way to put it. It props you up to the rest of the NFL, because they're like, whoa, wait, Shanahan and McVay and O'Connell liked you? Wait, what am I missing? I should like you too, because they're quarterback gurus, right? So I think there is a little bit of that. It gives you a prop up in your aura and what you are in the NFL. I also think, to like what you said there, you're spot on too. You go there, the reason those guys are who they are is because they have nuance in their coaching and how they coach plays, and they give clues for the players to look at to make them better on the field.
No doubt.
And that's what a good coach does. He can simplify it. Hey, just read this guy. I've exposed him with my play. Just read him. I'm going to make him wrong. As long as you just throw the opposite direction he goes, we'll be good, right?
Yep.
And I think that's the beauty. The third part of it is, I don't give a damn who you are, right? Other than maybe Josh Allen, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, Dan Marino, John Elway in their primes, right? Everybody needs help.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a team around him. You put Tom Brady on the Carolina Panthers that Baker Mayfield was on, he wouldn't look like Tom Brady, let me just tell you. And that's the other thing I think we've gotten so obsessed with quarterback. If you don't have a quarterback, you can't win. No. You can have a good quarterback and still win if you have a really damn good team, right? And that's what I think you're seeing with Baker and Sam Darnold and all that. They were in spots where I always joke around and go, when you're around crap, you start to smell like crap, some crap gets on you, and you start to look crappy.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the situations Darnold and Baker were in.
Now the Browns are trying to get somebody that they've seen be successful with quarterbacks at every level. Todd Monken coming in to be the new head coach.
Yeah.
What do you think about that hire? In the last 6 years, we've seen him be really good with Stetson Bennett, winning 2 national championships at Georgia. Then we see him coach Lamar, honestly, to the best seasons that Lamar's had, an MVP. And then I thought the year after was one of the great seasons in NFL history.
I'm a big fan of Todd Monken. I actually told him that on the field week 18 in Pittsburgh. I saw him pregame and, honestly didn't think he would get a head coaching job, right? Not the young offensive guru, right? I just thought, man, the league doesn't always like guys like this. He's a little older, right? But I had told him right there, flat out, I was like, man, I love your offense. I loved it at Georgia. I love what you do there in Baltimore. And yeah, I think he's sneaky under the radar, one of the best offensive minds in the sport. I do. So I love that. Now the quarterback situation you guys have it's contextual. I mean, there's a lot there. There really is. But it's Deshaun, Shedeur, and Dylan. And I'm sure Todd looks at it and goes, like usually great offensive minds, they're usually a little cocky. They think if I can get my hands on that guy, I'll make him better.
Sure.
And I'm sure he's going, wait, I saw Deshaun Watson be a baller. I can maybe make this work for him again. Or Shedeur and take him to the next level. Because we saw moments of Shedeur be like this. The problem is we saw moments of like this too. So we got to get in the middle there somewhere. But I think he's the right guy for the job. I definitely do.
We're excited about it. And to talk about those quarterbacks, we haven't seen Deshaun in so long, so we really don't know what that will
You don't know what
look
to
like.
expect. It's one of the crazier situations in the league.
I think it'll be fascinating because if he can recapture that, it'll be a great comeback story. And for Todd, obviously, that would be a very nice feather in his cap. You mentioned Shedeur, and obviously he's the one we've seen most recently. And Dylan, who I thought did a lot better than maybe the credit was given to him.
He got a tough draw there,
yes,
right?
for
Coming
a variety
back from
of reasons,
injury,
yes.
gets in there. The team didn't play as good as well with him, and he had to deal with some stuff, no doubt about it. And the fan base just was not going to be patient with him.
Right.
They wanted to see Shedeur.
Yes.
Right.
So you talk about those high-level moments with Shedeur. We saw some very high-level throws. We saw those great moments. The Tennessee game, probably his best game. But then to your point, the consistency. For a young quarterback, what does it take to get to that level of consistency? And how can somebody like Todd Monken, who's worked with a variety of different style quarterbacks, maybe help him?
Yeah, I think it goes back to like what we were saying with Shanahan, McVay, all that. They can make the game simpler for the quarterback, right? Maybe give them more offense, but within the plays, make it simple for them to understand. I think it's going to be big that Shedeur is going to be able to go into the offseason, go back, watch film, watch it with Todd. Todd's going to teach him certain things, and he go, ooh, wait, I didn't know that little nuance about that play. Okay, that makes sense. And then, as we see with any like quarterback guru type of guy, there's a little bit of what I always call rewiring the robot.
Totally.
It's kind of what happened with Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams this year, right? Caleb, his whole life was like, wait, if I just stand here and move around and make plays, I make it happen all the time. My whole life, high school, college, Heisman, whatever, I make it happen. And Ben Johnson gets in there and goes, hey, it's the NFL. You're not going to be able to do that all the time. So you got to be better in that department. And I think that's where that'll help Shedeur out a lot.